So, um, I had a lot of deep thinking the last night. Sabbath thinking, I call it. Got to make decisions, big decisions, Ideas change, dreams change, people come and go. Um, what you believe you want to do one minute might be different the next minute, because of circumstantial situations. Entirely based on people that are in your life, which as of right now there isn't any, other than my grandmother, my uncle, and a few associates, and the people that I work with. Um, but it's getting cold fast. And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't necessarily have a place to stay. They're in a situation where they're in a car like me, or they're homeless in general. Um, so in order for me to travel around the country, this car has to be 100%. I cannot travel the country reliably, safely, and put me, myself, and my cat in danger, or anyone else in danger on the road. This car will not reliably cross the country without having problems until I fix it, until I address very important issues with the vehicle, like tires, upgrading the brake system, overheating issues, battery issues, safety concerns, comfort concerns, everything. I'm going to be chasing storms as well in this car. It's not just going to be documenting animals and stuff. If there's a storm approaching me and I have it on my radar, we're taking off in this car. We're going to go find it. We're going to record it. I'm going to be just like Twister, in a sense. That's my favorite movie. So I always wanted to be a weatherman. I am a weatherman. I am the weatherman. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to be chasing these things, and I can't. It's also why I bought this car as well, because of the shape of it. It's round. It's very aerodynamic. I didn't want anything square or big that would flip it over, or I really didn't want anything long. I wanted a wagon so I could sleep, but the longer it is, the more wider it is, the more surface area it has to flip. That's also why I bought this car, because it was designed specifically for steering, driving, the best handling, which means it has good aerodynamics. And if you look at the car, you can tell it's aerodynamic. But I can't do all that stuff until the car is ready. In my mind, I wanted to get the car and fix it up on the road slowly, which I will be doing. But the major parts of the car that really need addressing, um, I need a place that's reliable, a garage like the home I just had, which I couldn't afford, in a sense, working a part-time job and doing YouTube. It just wasn't going to happen, nor did I have a vehicle running at the time. I had to save up money to get a running vehicle, because the father that I consider my father ditched me right after the trans broke on my truck, after I pulled out a loan to go up north to propose to a woman of my dreams so I could go up north. So not only did this man leave me, he left me in debt. He conned me into going up there. The whole situation was shitty. I even tried to get out of it, but I'm glad I didn't, because I would have let down Margarita, even though she was still let down in a sense because of circumstances and my family and her situation, my situation. But I have faith that it will work out. I have faith that we will be together. I believe so. I know so. It's in my heart. You know when you know. But God is telling me to get a place in Detroit, to show people that Detroit isn't a bad place to live. One, Detroit is a really beautiful place. Black people, Arabic people, they're not a bad people. I'm tired of hearing all these white people on the other side of Michigan saying how shitty Detroit is and how fucked up Detroit is. I'll never come back, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. That's not true at all. All those people that are saying that, they're fucking retarded, they're slow, and they have no head on their shoulders. They have no common sense. They're just saying exactly what everybody else says because they think it's cool. You understand what it is I'm saying to you? And that's everywhere. Everywhere I've traveled, it's the same thing. If you go on Vox News, Vox YouTube channel, look up Border Wars. It got discontinued. The guy that was doing it, it's really interesting how racial. It's not just us. It's everywhere. The Japanese do it to the Koreans. The Japanese used to take Chinese people. The Chinese still blame Japan for World War II, when really it was Hitler. Because Japan was going over there and taking all their women and bringing them back to Japan and raping them. Tying them down on tables. Korean women, Chinese women, mostly Korean. They would tie them down, the military would tie them down, and one by one, each guy would do his thing. It's known, that shit's known, it's a fact. They have a little Koreatown. In Korea, literally, there's people in Korea that literally fuck over Japan, and they take all the money and they funnel it back to North Korea, South Korea. It's a big money laundering thing. This shit's happening everywhere. And it's not a bad place to live in Detroit, man. I'm tired of, it doesn't matter where you live. Detroit, LA, Florida, New York, Chicago, London, China, Asia, Beijing, Sri Lanka, it doesn't matter. India, Russia, Africa, South Africa, it don't matter, dude. It don't matter the color of the skin. It's all the same. This is why I started believing in Jesus and started reading the Bible, which I've read the Quran, which the Quran is beautiful, but it was used to control massive amounts of people by religion, which was needed at the time. It definitely was needed at the time because you got all those different people, all those different tribes fucking mass murdering each other, raping each other, sacrificing each other, fucking each other's children and wives and, sons and whatnot and animals, and it was just ridiculous. So therefore, the Sharia law was able to bring union, some type of conformity, you know what I mean? It was needed, and it was the best thing that ever happened to that region ever. Just like Prophet Muhammad most definitely was a prophet, even though they believed that he wasn't. Everybody can be filled with the Holy Spirit and then grieve it. The Bible clearly says that you can be born of the Spirit and then deny the Spirit, which is an unforgivable sin. So if the Spirit is telling you to do something and you don't do it, and you do otherwise, God doesn't forgive that shit. And I've done it. Everyone has done it. He remembers that shit. He's going to hold that shit against you if you don't accept Jesus. Because when you accept Jesus, he doesn't look at your wrongdoings. He looks at his son. He sees his son in your heart living in you. Therefore, it isn't you. It is his son that is righteous. Therefore, you obtain the mansion. You obtain God's glory by simply believing in Jesus, by having him in your heart, by allowing him to live in your heart. Because he's spirit. He comes into your heart. He lives within your home, La Casita, in your heart. He lives there. He dwells within your heart. But he's telling me to get a home over here in Detroit, really cheap, to find a way to get in a house quickly, to find a garage, because I can't, 1, live in a trailer, 2, I can't live in an apartment. I can't do any work. I can't work on these cars. I can't modify them. 3, in order to find a place within a month or 2, I won't be able to find it fast enough on the other side of Telegraph where it's more money. Unless I find a really, really shitty home. That is possible. So what I'm going to really do is I'm going to start getting in contact with people, as many people as I can. And maybe you guys can help. Comment. Anything, Fannie Mae, all these different agencies, loans, government agencies, whatever we can come up with to help people get into housing. I'm going to be making documentary. We're not documentary. We're making videos, and I'm going to be trying to get into a home real soon, and fix it up. So I have a home. I need a home for myself, and it's got to be small, and it's got to have a garage, so I can work out of it. Because God's telling me the organization is going to be going. It's going to pick up faster than I think, and there's going to be people working for me soon. So, yeah, I'm going to be traveling out of my car, living out of my car. But I'm going to have a home base and office. I got to have mail coming to me. I got to have a P.O. box. I got to have somewhere to store car parts and inventory and Bibles and, all those different type of things. You got to have things. I got to have a place to put clothes and, I got to be able to come home and rest and think and do video editing, all this stuff. So I'm going to be looking for a really, really cheap home somewhere in the hood. Trying to find a block where it feels safe and get a couple pit bulls, that type of thing. But I'm going to show people that you can find a place cheap, quickly, and with people's help. So if you're out there, you're willing to help me, I'm going to be going around doing research on the internet, seeing what I can come up with. If that's you want to help, come up with something great for everyone. Maybe you're in the Detroit area, in the Michigan area, you're able to meet me. Maybe you run a program or something. You have an agency that maybe needs to be known more. My YouTube channel, my Facebook is definitely a channel, Facebook to be collaborating with. People are watching. People are subscribing. People are aware of what's going on. They want to know. They want to know more, and I'm willing to give it to them.